Hello guys, and welcome to your market report. Glad to have you guys here. Now today is Friday, November 9th, 2018, and let's get right into it. I'll tell you what, never forget that the Federal Reserve right now is drawing $50 billion every month of liquidity out of the system. $50 billion a month. Now that's just about equal to the quantitative easing that they were doing back when they were doing quantitative easing. But now they're drawing it out. This is going to have a compounding effect upon the economy. And what it's going to do is it's going to dry liquidity out from underneath the markets, so that when the markets finally do collapse from this liquidity being drawn out, it's going to go all at once. Boom. Then the Fed's going to have to change their programs. They're going to have to completely reverse. And when they reverse, that's when the dollar is going to begin its process of dying. Now, guys, we're almost getting ready to breach 3.25 on the U.S. 10-year. Once we breach that, then the markets should start to slowly turn over and fall. Not fall all at once, but more bearish than they are. They're going to turn bearish. Not so bullish like they have been for the last 10 years. Okay, so let's get right in and let's open up the charts right here and let's talk about these things. And let's first look at cryptocurrency today. And cryptocurrency is gone bearish. 63.30 and dropping. We might test the lows. Okay. Now let's take a look at cryptocurrency market capitalizations. It was 219 billion the other day. Now it's down to 212. 52.3% Bitcoin dominance. We got a bearish market here. Bearish sentiment in the market, and there's not many coins that are moving up any. There's just a few barely holding their own. Tether, Tether's tethered to the dollar, yeah, but I was looking at the green on it. It is Stellar is holding its own at 0.28. Let's see what else we can find here. Zcash is up a little bit. It's the only coin that's up. It's Zcash. It's up 5.64%. I was trying to find one that was up a little bit. Okay, we got the ones that are down the most. Well, Bitcoin Cash is down over 5%, 567 bucks. All the rest are down. Okay, Cardano is down quite a little bit. 4.9% down at 7 cents a piece, it looks like. And let's see. Those are the ones, okay? So now let's take a look at the gold price today. We're having the stuffing knocked out of it. If it was a rag doll, they're knocking the stuffing right out of it today. Minus $13.80 down for gold. And silver's going straight down. $14.50. It's down 27 cents on the day. This is almost getting to be ridiculous, but it's playing out like that scenario that I've told you guys on the show, where that they knock it down, the last hurrah, knocking it down as low as they can possibly get it, and then they snatch and buy it all up on the cheap. They allocate all the physical that's left on the cheap. I'm suspicious that this is not what they're pulling. They're market manipulators. They can manipulate this price as low as they want. They could manipulate it down to 1 penny. There's only one problem: is whoever's going to get in there first to grab all the physical that's left. You know? And then what happens? Then we have a shortage. And what happens if has anybody actually out there actually sat down and actually thought about this for a minute? What if we have an honest to God silver shortage in the 1,000-ounce bars? How are they going to make iPhones, for crying out loud? You know, how are they going to make any computer products or anything like that? How are they going to make solar panels? I could go on and on and on. How are they even going to keep our clothes clean, for crying out loud? You won't even be able to buy a pair of undershorts, for crying out loud. They even use silver to make your undershorts. You know? I mean, what are you going to do? if they get a shortage. Well, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. If we get a shortage in the 1,000-ounce bars, the price of silver is going to climb until the shortage ends, because there's a lot of silver out there. There's tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of silver out there. There's only one thing is, it's not for sale. Not right now, not at these prices, because the people have accumulated all of that silver that's out there, and there's tremendous amounts that's been accumulated. J.P. Morgan himself's got hundreds of millions of ounces, right? All that silver that's been accumulated out there, it's not for sale. But, wait, it's not priceless. If the price goes up high enough, I guarantee you that silver will be for sale. But a lot of these guys have bought in at $30. They ain't going to sell at $14. Even J.P. Morgan, his accumulation of hundreds of millions of ounces, a lot of that accumulation he did was when the silver price was back up around $20. Do you really believe a banker is going to sell bankers? I'm going to tell you, bankers are different than a lot of these guys out here. The way a lot of these investors work, these people that are amateur investors and stuff, they go into a market and buy it when it's hot. Like, they bought Bitcoin back when it was like $20,000, you know? And they do the same thing with silver. They go in and they buy it when it's $50 because it's hot. Everybody wants it, right? Right now, when it's cold as hell, silver, it's cold as hell right now. Nobody wants to touch it. Nobody wants it. Hardly anybody wants it. Nobody's buying it. It's human psychology. I mean, why does it work this way when something's really, you should be buying it, and nobody's buying it, nobody's touching it because they're scared of it? Well, if we get, if these guys come in and they scoop up all this physical, and believe me, they can. One billionaire, Donald Trump, all by himself, could scoop up all the physical that's left in the world. They get the physical down that low, the physical that's available for sale. Well, that shortage would not last very long because that price would go up so fast till it hits a price point where the stuff that is not available for sale now suddenly would be available for sale. Then the shortage ends. Boom, it's over. All kinds of silver comes into the market. People coming from everywhere once the price hits a certain price point. But what is that price point? I can guarantee you one thing. It's a hell of a lot higher than $14.15. Okay? Let's take a look now at what's happening in the markets. We're down 153 points on the day on the Dow. 153 points down, but I still believe that we're holding into this little bit of a rally that we have been, and I don't think it's going to go too much lower than that on the day. I think that basically what we're doing is we're going to be bouncing along like we were bouncing along after that last big drop back in January. See how the Dow kind of bounced along here in a certain range of around, I don't know, I'm just going to guesstimate it, probably around 24,500 or something like that. And that's what we're doing right now. We're going to start bouncing around probably around 25,000, 25,500 along in there. And 26,000. We're just going to kind of bounce in between those ranges for a while until the bond market gets up to a certain point where it rolls this thing over. That's what's going to happen. That bond market's going to keep heating up. So now let's take a look at the scary thing here. This is the scary thing today, is the way the oil price is dropping. It's very deflationary when the oil price drops like that, and it strengthens the dollar. And that's exactly what's going on today with the dollar. Did I do cryptocurrency market capitalizations yet? Gee whiz. I think I did. Let's take a look at bonds and rates now. Okay, the U.S. 10-year is at 3.20%. We're getting a little bit of a falling rate today, but it's nothing substantial. I think it's going to turn back up again. The rates are going to start climbing again later on, maybe tomorrow or the next day. And I think we're going to breach the 3.25 probably within the next month. That's what I think. Let's take a look at the dollar. See what the dollar's doing. 96.78. So there we go. We've got a rise in dollars getting up toward 97. Anyway, this has been your market report for this morning. Thank you guys for listening. And listen, once we do breach that 3.25% on the U.S. 10-year, it's got to start rising up towards 3.5 and 4%, right? And during that period in time, it's a little bit hard to tell when the market's really going to roll over during that time. But the liquidity, every single month, they're drawing out $50 billion worth of liquidity out of the system. And that's going to haul the legs out from underneath the table. Okay? And so we're going to see that market turn over at a specific point. The energy, the raw energy and the enthusiasm that's driven the market up and the money that's driven the market up to this point now is being taken away. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye, guys.